Good. Sierra Leoneans, good evening. So,
This is Sheman's music, the hottest. Sierra Leone, how kuna they do? Sierra Leone, suna kusho. We all are one, make we live together. Without peace, we no go before. Let your neighbor not make palava. This salon, I know what we get. For the sake of the beginning, let me make salon. What you don't do for mama salon? When they say water, you say come from the back. And inside you name, give peace a chance. Let me make salon. Anything you do, give peace a chance. Let me make salon. And inside you go, give peace a chance. Let me make salon. Salon man, how you they do? Salon woman, do ya push up? This na the temple let me make the country. Government property, not on New York. Not out in the streets, not in the office. Waiting up for we, not on New York. Then we next salon, then we put them first. Live at peace inside salon. When they say water, you say for brought you back. And inside you they give peace a chance. Then we make salon. Anything you do, give peace a chance. Then we make salon. And inside you go, give peace a chance. Then we make salon. Sierra Leoneans wanna listen to me. Sierra Leoneans wanna listen well. Learn some lessons and get some blessings. Stop the blame game when we make salon. This say that one, that one they say that this. Election time, not to time for friends. Make salon, not well this country. If we live in peace, salon will go before. When they say water, you say for drug you back. And inside you they give peace a chance. Then we make salon. Anything you do, give peace a chance. Then we make salon. And inside you go, give peace a chance. Then we make salon. Before ya, how una they do? Bakaya, una kushe. For make salon, make we live in peace. If we make salon, better go there for we. No place like home, no place like salon. Green, white, and blue, make we raise them up. Let me make salon, let me not wear salon. And that we love our Sierra Leone. And inside your name, give peace a chance. Let me make salon. Anything you do, give peace a chance. Let me make salon. And inside you go, give peace a chance.
Thank you very much to my brother Justin Magawe before with that program. Of course, these are the program build the new hope. And we will bring this program to Onamina Ibrahim Super Kamara. Of course, I don't be the presenter for the past months where they present this program. And for the past 2 weeks, unavoidably, we not been there online because of circumstances we been there beyond we reach, we been there beyond we control. So I want for apologize to we followers, people where they follow me. I want to apologize for that. But so far, today we dey discuss the most talked about program or the most talked about issue currently in the economy, the 2026 budget. We dey try for simplify. We dey try for simplify this budget so that we people then will get a take of wetin this government put forward. You know, say the economy is suffer right now, and because of that, we understand the logic behind all the policies that we then propose inside this 2026 budget. But quick one, I dey talk on three things. I dey talk on um, Jagaban proclamation about experience no experience. I will talk like this shortly. I also will talk about IGR and publication about um, the most popular candidates according to the survey. Um, I will talk about that, and I will also talk about the PPRC ruling we come out this week, where um, done almost a fiat to we brother, the Honorable former Vice President, His Excellency Alhaji Sidiki Samsumana. So I will talk on this in brief, and then we come to the most important aspect of the presentation. And this presentation, they talk about the critical aspect of this budget. Now, to the issues where we brought Mr. Mohamed Omodu Kamara, who then they call Jagaban bin ways. They talk about nobody not be president yet. In company the way they run, so you don't need experience in a businessman. They don't build a business from nothing to something, you get an empire. So you don't need experience to govern. You know, Mr. Kamara, sir, with all due respect, you chap, sir, done in a very wrong perception. Say, the one them who na all the wrong, non-pandemic, no don't be president, then just act as agents na somebody else in administration. That kind of statement not for come out from you. If you are a serious administrator, Mr. Kamara, that statement is not for come out from you at all. But again, this is not the thing where we talk about experience. Mr. Kamara, um, Honorable Alhaji Sidiki Samsumana don't act as president on countless time. Honorable Chairman Ramadan Majuba don't act as president of this country. Mr. Kamara, you get strategic positions we directly related to the presidency. Ministers of government, not to all ministry gets presidential flavor around them. You need to know this. But when you don't get experience, so I help you understand this. When you serve as foreign affairs minister, when you serve as minister of finance, you equally get the experience that the president gets. It is not a mere um, job where they give say go delegate responsibility. But you don't know how government dey work, so you don't know this. The Minister of Finance and the President then get a designated ink. Now they know what they use in government for sign with. Ask, they will tell you. I don't want for school you on all of this. But then get a designated pen, a color, what they be used for sign. You no need for be president for get presidential experience, sir. Now that make we the white man and call am pedigree. Experience well related to the presidency. You haven't got one, sir. So don't compare yourself to those that have got them. You are starting, and that is why you keep the misplace your priorities. When you work in government, you will get experience about how presidency they work. When you work in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, when you work in the Ministry of Finance and Economic Development, when you work as Vice President, when you work as Speaker of Parliament, when you work as Chief Justice, these are positions where they give presidential accolade, where they give presidential treat. When you work as an ambassador, you dey get presidential, treat. If you're not an ambassador any side of the world, Salon send you, for example, as an ambassador to Guinea, you are the president in Guinea. That is why they refer to you as His Excellency. If Salon send you as ambassador to China, then they refer to you as His Excellency. You are directly the president for all Sierra Leoneans in China. You have to understand that there are certain experience where you need for let you become a better president. If you don't get that experience, then it's like you need for learn on the job, Mr. Kamara. You need for learn on the job. So experience very, very much important, Mr. Kamara. Then nobody don't like you. If anybody tell you say experience no matter, the person don't like by you. And Mr. Kamara, I want to make one thing categorically clear to you. You are always banking on the money you have, the things the way they do. Mr. Kamara, please, I want you for no say Salon to for sale. And I also want you for no say not to all my you buy. And I also want you for no say the APC is not for sale. Bring your policies forward. I read the Dr. Sylvia Blyden, they say money matter in politics. Oh yes, money matter. Nobody not be happy for make a beggar president. But there is nobody among the call where they run when a popo said, sir. And most of the things the way Mr. Kamara they say they don't do, the likes of Dr. Mara don't do thousands of them. Maybe you don't know this. Dr. Kafala Mara is the only man amongst where they contest. We don't do 80-kilometer roads out of young blood and sweat. A buy machine there, a grade road, in order to add a column, where not to government resources. He did that for his people. Dr. Mara built school before they ever imagine say they cut into politics. You don't know this as well. When you talk about the refurbished political party where you go refurbish Namashaka, I'll tell you the value of the Koinadugu district political party office. It is 10 times what past that investment we do in Namashaka political party office. Dr. Mara, yes, other few political parties then come, they make donations. Would I give one bag, would I give this, would I give that? But in single-handedly buy the land, and build a massive political party office now. We need to compare to that you so-called, build the way going for Bishop. So stop thinking that what you don't do now novelty in the politics of this country. What you let Dr. Mara don't do enough in the APC, you know what I mean, sir. So the APC is not for sale. I know you have your money, but not everybody will buy. Nobody know they hate you because you get your money. Now God give you what you get. But you go for a run for respect. You colleagues them. Money is not everything. And I disagree with Sylvia Blyden. We say money, in politics. No, sir. Not to all my they for buy. Not to all my they buy. Sylvia Biden don't become minister. He don't serve as minister in this country. If not be in money, they in that position now because of what he gets, because of his intellect. Learn for campaign on policy and on issues, sir. Experience also very matter. If you not get experience in government, you need to learn through the process. So that is my advice to you, Mr. Kamara Jagaban. The next one is the IGR kangaroo survey we then do. I want to make this to very clear to Sierra Leoneans. IGR is being run by an SLPP man called Andrew Lavali. Andrew Lavali is known as an SLPP. Just as how you get the Johnny where they run Carl, and how you can get this guy way now at the PRO for the SLPP, Mambo, CSO Mambo. That is the same way IGR, the Andrew Lavali, they operate. So you went because so many people don't call me say these reports, I tell people and say they're not for countenance at all. They're not for discount, they're not for countenance and for a few reasons. One, therefore no say Andrew Lavali is pro SLPP. This not a novelty to be. We don't see how the SLPP they use civil society platform for push their agenda. This one will come also not wait an PRO, we cancel as PRO. Now civil society been there with the bash at the APC government during the APC time. Now civil society been there, it defend the SLPP. Now from there, it can also can become PRO. So it is not new that you are having people like Andrew Lavali where they run then civil society organizations there, and they get funded by donor institutions, then they eat fat money then because they get the government in backing. So the so-called survey IGR do are they tell us say no countenance and it is a political gimmick. But once for make this completely clear to Andrew Lavali, you are making a very sad mistake. Not of the SLPP they choose for the APC, whether they run for we. If that is the platform that you they push, I will let you know say Jagaban is not popular. It only noise now on social media and in few peripheries between them. An organization with credible, with non-political, none, then do the ranking. The outcome they out. So you cannot use those surveys that you call surveys. We're not getting methodology. We're a figment of imagination. When an armchair or desktop research, you just sit on a little office, then you make what you make, you put on a social media and you say na research you do, or you say na survey you do. People are not full handle. The better you underestimate Sierra Leoneans. And that is an insult to intelligence, to intellect. Yeah? You don't underestimate Sierra Leoneans. So much so that you get in mind, forgot him up and say you do survey, the survey where you do that Jagaban are the most popular for the APC. We'll not tell you that. When Jagaban become Jagaban, when they begin know Jagaban, Usa been there in 2018, where the highest crowd puller, Dr. Marabin, the pull crowd. Usa been there. Dr. Marabin, the most consistent APC flag bearer aspirant. A contest in 2018. No pine colleagues there, not even the incumbent leader, winner, Dr. Samra Kamara, get crowd meter. Yeah? In 2023, a do am again. And also, a do am again in 2028. So now the most consistent, it don't contest for 3 times. Now you they come. And then this so-called IGR and Lavali, they go talk say that you are the most popular. Who's are you popular with? That is why I make it very clear to Jagaban. I make it very clear say Jagaban need experience in this game. Not to SLPP they choose for the APC. Because it's like we are comfortable with Jagaban. law push for law there because we easily can beat them. No, sir. The APC is bigger than that kind of thought process, Mr. Lavali. We are bigger than that. So not even start down there. Focus on your SLPP. 2028 election, the APC will put out a candidate way popular. The APC is already a popular name. In 2018, nobody knows Sambura Kamara. Everybody will feel say either be Dr. Mara or it be JFK or it be John Cisse. These are the popular names we know. But from nowhere, the meaning Sambura Kamara, we won that election. So you using this platform for push the agenda for Jagaban, in the work, the APC is not for sale. And the APC can never be hijacked. Then the law make them very clear to Unalon and Noda Andy. Not to honor they choose for we. So wherever you do, for begin the call this you shenanigan, you know the work. The APC is far above that. Jagaban is not popular. If he popular, let go team up na Arekola. Without let go to the provinces. Without a no go Bokumu to can just man let go room. Let's see people they can hear. How you can popular pass the one that we don't did before you? How you go popular pass the likes of Dr. Marawi contest in 2018? We all see the aftermath of that election. How the APC been get so many disgruntled support base because the people been there in the number when they think saying Dr. Mara, and Dr. Mara was the man at the time. They're not getting the opportunity, still serve the party. Who side then at this country, Dr. Mara not gets a formidable, campaign team. You don't just a pass between Freetown and you go Kailan, you go Kenema, you see and then you see you are popular, and then they are using the SLPP platform for selling at the APC or to the people. You are not popular, and you can never be popular past the likes of Dr. Mara, Richard Conte, Honorable Cherikoko, Jeff. You can never be popular past them. They've been into this before you they come. So nobody begin to arrange yourself with the SLPP and you think you can use that platform for camp. That is the fake arrangement. That shenanigan doesn't work. IGR and the so-called Jagaban una can get out. Una can get out. That plan didn't work. You the same Jagaban, now you be there in a radio station on now one platform then this year where they praise the government. With all the things that happens, they praise the government. So clearly, when this they come up from Angula Valley and the IGR for sale the most popular, we don't see the plan work. In all the work, the APC is not for sale. You cannot use your arrangement with the SLPP and think say the SLPP can build for you a niche for hijack the APC. The APC is not governed by fools. You need to know that. Go back to the drawing board and you think the strategy. That doesn't work. Tell Angula Valley saying that not backfire. The APC no. Now, on the issue of the PPRC, we all see the outcome of the PPRC, the press release, the investigation where they behold for the people that will be petitioned the 2026 convention rules and regulations where the party been put forward. They don't address them, and we also see the petition where the Honorable Vice President, former Alhaji Abubakar Sidiki Santumana, the petition against the APC say the aspect we get to do with the 5-year clause being discriminatory against that because into a new member. We see the PPRC over the week will come out with the report. In the report, they clear the Honorable Vice President on technical grounds. The Honorable Vice President point out so many things where he challenge. One of them is say the 5 years clause were enshrined inside the APC constitution of year 2022 is discriminatory. The PPRC say no, it's not discriminatory, it not offend nothing at the constitution. Because, yes, in fact, it aligns to what the constitution says. The Vice President will rely on a section or on a portion within the 1991 constitution which states that no other law nor for supersede the ground norm of the country within the 1991 constitution. But logically, the PPRC analyze them They're able for realize or they're able for make then come to the conclusion for let the people know say that 5 year clause not affect the provision of the constitution. It not affect her in any way. So it stand. But however, on the ground of illegitimacy, the PPRC realized say in 2020 the NDC the NAC will be readmit the honorable vice president. That NDCA, the actions and way they be that NAC meeting day na be an NDC. Why? Because na be during state of emergency, na dem be hold that meeting day. And dem be only get the right for hold that meeting day wey na be an NDC. So in that arrangement, they make am very clear say um, 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 that meeting wey the NAC bin get, the constitution, the 1995 constitution bin give them the right for hold that meeting day, but the meeting for transform itself to an NDC. So because dem hold that meeting on the 20th, and not on that 20th day, the executive internal, expire. Dem bin get like a 1 week ahead before dem dey expire. So all the decision wey dem bin take, e bin stand. And secondly, that particular meeting dey, because dem dey hold am under state of emergency, that particular meeting dey na be an NDC. So the provision wey the landed secretary general then, Ambassador Usman Fode Yansane, bin cite, where e say dem don approve the vice president, but im endorsement go come na the national delegate conference, no bin stand, e no hold water. Dem say the reason being na because the meeting wey dem bin take that decision dey, that NAC meeting dey, na be an NDC, because dem hold that meeting dey during a state of emergency period. And that is so technical that you difficult for let get yourself off from am. So apparently, a leave with no choice but to accept say in 2020 na in the honorable vice president dem readmit am. And in that time dem readmit am, in consonance with the current constitution wey dey state say for 5 years before you contest, e don 5 years. 2020 to now is more than 5 years. So that don give the authority to the former vice president for come into the race and come on with im colleagues, with im peers. So Jagaban wey dey say e popular, let ask himself if e popular reach Sam Sumana. Okay, so that is the outcome of the PPRC, and they also instruct the APC party for ensure say dem give the honorable vice president a membership data back to 2020 wey dem readmit am. Data back to 2020 instead of the one wey dem bin get in 2023. The APC dey in receipt of the ruling, then they examine am according to the leadership, then we get meeting and then get back to all authorities. But I want to make am very clear that on this very clear this decision wey the party don take, e difficult for the party take another decision. So any other flag bearer wey dey feel say the honourable vice president no get for wrong, and they put her aside, because one, it's difficult for the party appeal against you. Sam Sumana is a member of the APC, yes. So it's difficult for the party appeal against the candidate, the young person. They will appeal against government, but no appeal against the young. Okay? So definitely be resolute that Sam Sumana will run. Sam Sumana will run. Okay? So these are the three things that will be happen. Jagaban in experience one way say no important. The IGR publication way na be nonsensical one, of course. You get the PPRC arrangement where them free the honorable vice president for come contest. So now we come to a very important aspect. I see comment that they come. I know it will take me time for follow up all. Somebody they say for left Jagaban, na election, not to selection. Nobody know hold Jagaban. But if you make unfounded and baseless statements, I mean, like comrade, we are all APC members. We'll correct them. You know, the presidency is a job. No job, no day where they go, where you know they require an experience, especially if na job we get for do with managing people and managing resources. Your background, your track record for don't speak towards that job. So for them, you can say experience no matter. That is a blatant lie. And then with all due respect to the brother and comrade, that is not correct. You need experience. Yeah. One thing we all need for know now the fact that if you take for example Singapore, there is a guy called Lee Kuan Yew. Lee Kuan Yew, now for reading book, the person will send a message. Na for reading book. Lee Kuan Yew be able to fix Singapore and transform the economy because he believe in one philosophy, the philosophy of the best brain wins. Yeah, not to get deep pocket. We are not looking for somebody who get deep pocket. Yeah, we are looking for somebody who has the people at heart, who will come and serve as a servant, who knows the issues, the problems then. Not to Uda, then they go can't tell waiting for do. And there is a philosophy where this brother way they try for tell me say let me left Jagaban. Personally, na my brother, I don't get nothing for hate and for. But while you know say a leader is one who knows the way, who goes the way and shows the way. Jagaban hasn't got any experience, so that makes him completely out. I mean, in me thinking, gets. I mean, the experience will be president. Then we will tell him, and that is the reason why they come in defense for talks to experience no matter. But experience very much important because a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. He compared himself to the former president, Anes Baikoma. Anes Baikoma has always been an APC and has always been a politician. That is the reason why the NPRC, they are marking at some point they arrest her. So you need to know that as well. And second, you also need to know say Anes Baikoma go to parliament, he served as member of parliament and leader of government and leader of the opposition for 5 years before he become president. So that's the experience for know how government they run. You know just take you because you run shop or you run company. You can't you. You need to understand how government they run. Every now we got so many policies them what you need for attune to. Over the years, during the 80s, we got the structural adjustment program. When that they done, they bring the Millennium Development Goals. When that they done, they carry the Sustainable Development Goals. How you policies then fit into these international development goals? You Jagaban need from all of this. So we need people that we don't work with government, we know how government they run, we know how them policies they are, then they craft them. Because we got policy craft deficit. We got policy craft deficit. Jagaban, you don't know this. So I'll tell you, the one that we don't know about politics, now then go follow you. Trust me. Not so you they go do the work, but you need for know. Okay? So he's a brother, I respect him, an elder. But personally, I will make this very clear to you where they argue say for left on me. No. He's a politician. Me says already now I don't know it all. If I go wrong, now you right for challenge with you at the state. But what he say is completely wrong. Not because experience deficit there against them. So when we talk about experience, I mean, if I can't tell we say experience no matter. No, sir. Experience very, very much matters, sir. All the one that will be wrong with, so they get experience where you not get. They're not just delegates. There is a system in government. Government is a system, not a one-man business. The presidency not a one man. When we talk about the presidency, inclusive of the president, the vice president, the speaker, and the head of the judiciary. Now make up the presidency. Now make you get the three arms of government. You get the judiciary, you get the legislature, you get the executive arm. You need to have the experience in the executive arm, experience from the legislative arm, and as chief justice. So don't say that. These people are highly experienced, far more than you. If luck go your way, then you, the leadership, will only support you because we want change. But you need experience, sir. And in that self, we go for strength. Because stay you dey learn on the job, begin know wetin for do, who screw not for there and begin put am dey. I mean, we no want a leader wey dey rely on wetin im ministers dem dey tell am. We need a leader wey is battle tested, wey don get the experience, wey don get the foresight. So you no get the experience, and that is the reason why they come against you. Una let you sir. If you say experience no matter with na lie, experience very much matter. That is what we call pedigree in presidency. You need to forget the pedigree. Okay? Now, with the come to the 2026 Finance Act, the Honorable Minister of Finance in November will present the budget, the 2026 Finance Act. Me family learn this Finance Act will not go down now. We will just discuss a few issues. The issues that we will discuss on the Finance Act. One, we want the populace to know say this government don't decide for reduced tax on alcohol, but they increase tax in basic amenities, basic commodities were needed for keep we life going. Fuel, then tax can in the 2026 budget. Tamatis, then tax can. Egg, rest, all this one, then tax them. Then give them high tax. I'll tell you say even this water bottle where they drink. In fact, water now and the don't get tax. They not put tax on them wire in this 2026 Finance Act, the budget. In the 2025 supplementary budget, where the minister will go read. The supplementary budget na additional budget where government been put forward through the Minister of Finance, table and a parliament, where they go ask for the parliament get an authority for spend more on some areas. In that budget then slash funding were critical to agriculture with all the propaganda mechanisms where the government they put in place with regards to the feed salon program, then slash funding in agriculture. Why I say slash, it means then reduce funding in agriculture. Then reduce funding in education. This government pride itself on education. The medium-term national development plan will be covered between 2018 and 2023. Then we pride them around capacity building, free education, and all of that. It is very much counterintuitive. It's very much counterintuitive for this government, the same government, will put premium on education. In the supplementary in 2025, they reduce funding in education. Salon don't be regarded as one of the worst places then for the woman get born picking safe one. Salon. Yeah. So in the 2025 supplementary budget again, they reduce on health. The people. Health sector is very much critical. Where we dey think of how we will, empower the health sector. We empower that sector in a way that we women then go able for born safe and then deliver safely. That ranking, that international ranking where they come out every year, they put salon below. Always will they perform worse. Now recently we make some increase, some improvement, but we always don't they perform worse. So if this government not prioritize education, if this government not prioritize agriculture, If this government not prioritize health, I'm afraid this government is moving towards the wrong direction. So in 2025 budget, they reduced spending on land. In 2026 Finance Act in November last month, the ministers go propose tax in water all the drink. Then for begin tax bottled water all the drink. We already there na a country where not to everybody get access to water. Not to everybody. Now like 30% they access pure drinking water. 30%. More than 70% of the people not get pure water. So now they don't put tax on water, they don't put tax on rice when I was staple food, they don't put tax on eggs, basic egg we eat imported, they don't put tax on them, tomatoes, fuel, they don't put tax on them. Ironically, rum, alcohol, they reduce the tax with on. And also they make over 300% increase in presidential travel. Me and one person very much critical when it comes to criticizing the government, especially the president, for travel. Because I dey look at and say, in a way, na in right for travel because in work, now building bilateral relationship, working with other government because we are Salon is part of the global village. So you must travel. But the way how this party travel is questionable. There are things wey no for move for a move. And when they travel, not up and keke, not on motoka, not even internal. Because if in a salon traveling, we not get part of the fare wey they use per 50 or 60 motoka. You understand? So the increase presidential traveling to over 300%. And then left critical areas, fuel, basic amenities of life, they left that area, they then tax them. And this money where they come off from the taxes, 300% of increase, and they don't do on one critical expenditure area where the president in traveling. Yeah? And the president in traveling. Yes. Okay, so somebody they say Jagaban resources to contribute to the development of the country without becoming a member of parliament or president. He is not getting the right advice. Sure, I think that in the position. Look the likes of Dangote. You know they into politics, but they contribute. They create jobs for young people. We all can contribute for let this country become fine. Not to pass politics. Other ways and the way you go help the country. If actually somebody no mean bad, if you get money, why you want to go into politics? That kind of money with that brother say against you, which you want to go inside politics now? Because your money, you not going for do for make the roads then Afalaba. They don't. So why you want power? You know? So this is so far the areas in where this government don't make another blunder. But again, let's go to the other blunder. In 2023, this government of Dr. Julius Madabio lost over 3.6 billion when at 35% of revenue on tax exemption. What's in a tax exemption? The people learn tax exemption now one thing what we can call duty free. So if they can tax basic commodities, then put tax on fuel, then put tax on rice, then put tax on water, then put tax on egg, then put tax on tomatoes, they not put tax on alcohol. And then they increase spending over 300% of the president is spending. And then say tax exemption. In 2023, this government lost over 35% of tax exemption. 3.6 billion. Now this government lost on tax exemption. The bad part is when you look at the 2026 budget, government no do anything about tax exemption when are duty free. They not do anything about it. If you can lose 3.6 billion in 2023, when at 35% of revenue where the country collect, 35% of the revenue of where the country collect, 3.6 billion. Nine we lost through duty waivers, tax exemption. So government they come with investors, then for can invest with minerals, then they get a tax exemption. And people believe say them tax exemptions then they now where then they enrich the politicians the way they govern the resources of the country. Because then tax exemptions then they behind the scene, then they come to the politician in pocket. The country they lost the individual and profit. Why this 2026 budget not deal with this tax exemption? This duty waiver okay address, okay, talk about. If we can lose 3.6 billion when at 35% of the revenue to tax exemption in 2023, why the 2026 budget not capture or not talk on issues we get to do that? Because clearly we see the president and the government in agenda, then focus more now for generate internal resources, which is not bad. But if you dey put the pressure on the poor man, we no go do without fear, we no go do without tomatoes, we no go do without egg, we no go do without rice, we no go do without water. Why you dey exempt taxes for those wey dey na high places? Because the people wey dey control the economy, na them people and them big guys and them big man and the way they run them big NGO companies them where they call them to carry them, they get tax concession for pass through them and the water key free. Them mining companies the way they pass through water key, the containers, the motor cars, them, the equipment that they pay to government. Then concession fees, then tax fees, then surface rent where they pay to government. When I left them, then they do no more away, and then they tax the poor man. Now I see us blunder on the side of this government, especially on the issue of water. Water na one area where you no go joke, because 23% of the country now no more they access clean drinking water. Out of 100%, only 23% they access clean drinking water. So 77% of the people no get access to clean drinking water. This is according to WHO. Me na an academist. When I talk at the sites, at the reference site, I get me sources. What's the main people? I want to talk on the issue of the interest payment on debt. This country gets high debt rate. The debt way we get, it don't move it or let we become a debt distressed nation. One thing when they make this country they suffer, they have the hardship of who? Now because of the investment, the interest payments they make on debt. We appetite for loan is so huge as a nation, and the debt burden it don't become so high. Especially the domestic borrowing, what we lend internally, that interest rate we dey pay is so huge that it affects the budget. And because it affects the budget, it dey make we dey lost so many resources wey for go na critical areas in agriculture, in health, and other critical infrastructure, roads and others. Because we appetite for loan internally, especially when it comes to paying salaries, especially when it comes to the president in travels. Most of the time, are internal borrowings, and the interest rate so high that it accumulates for almost 25% of revenue. So in this new budget, my people, government no land from that. They also propose for land for lend more money this 2026 so we can start. So how a government go turn like this? You pull the burden on with people. Sorry, you put the burden on with people. You tax them the more. Then the bigger ones, then the NGOs, then the not NGOs, but not say NGOs, the international institutions, and then companies, then where they come from, especially mining companies. You give them duty free, you give them tax exemption, and then you dey tax the poor man them way no go do without light, we no go do without water, we no go do without fuel, we no go do without rest. Then basic commodities dem dey, you pay attention there, you give more tax today, and then you look at the international institution, then companies and where they come, you look at una self una own wey dey run government. Some of una get una businesses dem wey we know, una dey give una self tax exemptions. Whether name motoka car na free, una just dey call Mr. Bio wey car na port, instead of you pay una give tax exemption, una all dey get duty free left, right, and center. Don money dem dey wait for don come and can help the government for able for stabilize the economy so that they no go lend for pay salaries. Una scratch, una scatter them, una just it no dey make sense to me. How a government will be so wicked to im people that you know say you get excess resources wey go come through taxes, you exempt am, you left am. Why? Because you believe say that money dey come back to you through undercover means. You just give duty free, you just give tax exemption left, right, and center, and then you put the burden on the people. The people, them, the layman, and the tax that they pay, now they use back. You finance government activities. You finance the boku loan wey they take internally. What it is to tell you that the one that way they run the economy, they know they help the president. They really know they help the president. How you get appetite for lend to the point that you interested, this not interested to like where I go lend. I go lend in a bank 2 million, and I expect say what they pay, I go pay 2,500,000. The 500 are the interest because I mean the bank not for wrong loss. With external debt, I know what that part today, and then next week I discuss it. I dey talk about internal debt borrowings. This internal debt what they do, these domestic borrowings, where the government they always take debt, now then banks them for pay salaries and finance their activities. When they pay back with interest, they pay huge money. The government, the country, they lost over 25% of revenue, and they go towards that point. Why we not go stop for lent or we reduce the appetite for lent? Why? Why we go give tax exemption to the choosing few, the bourgeoisie? The bourgeoisie, we give them. Say that why and then we give tax exemption. Then the poor man that we tax them because the poor man no go do without water, he no go do without fuel, he no go do without rest, he no go do without the basic essential commodities in the market like them tomatoes, them basic things. Then they you will put more tax there. Then you exempt people there. Over 35% of the money they go free flow. Then you exempt the pay tax exemption. And then you come out there, you come back, you begin lend 50% internally. And then money that way they lend internally, not so free. Where they pay with interest. Over 25% of the country in budget don't go that part there. This is not a disaster. So that is the reason why when we see people in Lelen Jagaban, they feel say now the money they can't take salon problem or solve it. Salon debt first. If you say we want to pull salon from debt, we all salon, even Jagaban, we all na salon. 10 million people, we all na debtor. Debtor in millions of dollars. So when people think say that the money now important, salon problem big pass you, that money we get where you inherit. Salon problem big pass am. The only way we think they prove it through this now when we get concerted effort, people with the right minds. Just like what Lee Kuan Yew do at Singapore. You bring the right brains around government. People will get the right experience for can help you for fix the economy. We not go tell somebody no one at some company or some one shop in America or call to American president. Mr. Jagaban, you lie. Wouldn't it be? Would it make sense to the people? If you come back for the leadership, some people will support you. But I'll tell you, would they tell people and say we're going for the right candidate? And we get bright minds. One of them, Dr. Mara, his experience. Now, I conclude this. So when Dr. Mara been in government, 25% of this particular government, His Excellency Brigadier Dr. Mara been in government. Then they spend 25% of interest rate on domestic borrowings. This is not the money. You don't pay the money, then you pay interest. The interest rate number at 25% of revenue all the So the government took an appetite for trust. When Dr. Mara been as Minister of Finance, one thing where he been do, we make the country been get stability, the economy have been for stop borrowing internally. Domestic borrowing is stop and reducing lending appetite drastically. And then they been get a positive effect on the economic management team, where the economy becomes stable. You Jagaba, you know better experience, so you know better experience at all. But you believe say experience no matter. We will just look to country no more hand over and to you because you get money. You know it works so, sir. You know it works so. How will you handle the economy? How? Not a company, no. When you run company, now microeconomic policies then they affect you. Micro, when you run country, now we talk about macroeconomic fundamental. Now two different things. So not begin compare what you run like your company. So what the country get for look like. The microeconomics expert then different from the macroeconomic expert. Me now macroeconomics that the economic development now. Now macroeconomics that they talk about so. Not so that you might because every time when they ask you, say I don't believe something from nothing. We know they ask you, we not get problem with what you get. Now God give you. We are just saying the presidency of this country bigger than what you get. Nobody know the way money pass the country. And this country not for sale, the APC is not for sale. The economy is in bad shape. That is why they bring the tax. But they don't even know how to fix the problem. Because you got to get empathy for you people. With a tax dilemma, you do tax exemption for the bourgeoisie, the ruling class. And then they get tax exemption. Recently, I clear Mutukana Wataki. I pay. But people already in government, the bourgeoisie, the ruling class, I'll tell you, those bourgeoisie class, then they go out and get free, then they get free waiver, they get this waiver, they pull them with card free, they not pay one. Now then they accumulate to that 3.6 billion of revenue loss to tax exemption. So we need to be very serious as a country. Ladies and gentlemen, at the count to end this program, I'm sorry about last week, we need for camp. The team them Boku, next week we will continue for discuss this. But I tell you, for fix this kind of problem, the right candidate na Dr. Kaifala Mara. Let we put all sentiment aside. We not forget about the gimmick, the political gimmick where IGR and Dulavali then they put forward. Not to APC, not to SFP they pick for APC, who are they run for we. Jagaban no popular, sir. We not let them lie there. I go popular past the one that we don't contest 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. You were kind yesterday. Now you can't popular past them. Just because you think say when you look allow you go buy motocar for that, you do this, you do that. No, it doesn't work that way. We have to be serious about this country, sir. On that note, at the end of this program, and they come back to next week. And next week we will discuss the nitty-gritties. We will discuss more on the economy. We know we'll be too political next week. Thank you all, and thank you, my listeners, my followers.